folks, Sarah here. Thank you for joining me today. I have rolled up my mat, as you see, and set it aside because what I wanted to do was do a chair yoga practice. I posted a little earlier today on my blog, vibranceyogaandwellness.com/blog. I posted an audio flow for those of you who know some of the poses, and you can follow along to that. I will be posting a flow later on today, but in the meantime, if you are in a chair, confined to a chair, find it difficult to get up and down off the floor, then this is for you. You can still do yoga, you can still breathe and move with intention and get all the benefits that you might out of any yoga flow. So with that in mind, find a comfortable seat. This is just an old chair I had. If you don't have arms on the chair, it probably will work better. If you do have arms, you might need to readjust the way that you're sitting in the chair. So the beginning of the practice, I should say, is often a meditation. If we're on the mat, we start in a child's pose, but on the chair, I'd like you to simply bring your feet about hip distance apart. Sit with your sit bones nice and firm on the chair and with a nice long straight spine. You can put your hands on your knees if you like, either down or up. You can clasp them in your lap. You can take a mudra of any kind, whatever you like. If it feels comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and begin to focus on your breath. Cultivate the deep, rich sound of Ujjayi breath. And that's the thing to keep throughout your practice. Your breath and mine may be different, so my cues as to breath may not fit you. Take what fits you and make what I say fit you, because your practice is you and your breath with your movement. It's not me, I'm guiding you, but you take what I say and you fit it to your body, the one you've got right now, the one that can sit in a chair right now. So let's sit for just a moment. Cultivate that beautiful, rich Ujjayi breath. Take 2 more breaths right here. Nice and strong and intentional breaths. And then we'll begin to move. Remember that at any time you can rest, at any time you can modify, at any time you can back off. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, please feel free to pause the video, go back, watch it as many times as you need to in order to get the flow that you need for your body right now. So we often start with what's called sun salutations in a flow. And we can do something very simple in the chair that does the same thing. With the combination of the Ujjayi breath and the sun salutations, you build a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth in your body. All right, I'm going to scoot forward on my chair just a little bit. I'm still nice and grounded on my chair. My feet are still hip distance. I'm going to start with my hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And then dive down with an exhale. Halfway lift to a nice long flat back. You can come up as high as you need to. And then fold with your exhale. Come back up to seated, reach high. And then dive down. Come halfway up, fold forward with your exhale. Come all the way back with your breath in, and dive down with your breath out. Halfway lift, fold down, come all the way back up, breath in, fold forward, you get the idea. Halfway lift, bow down, and then come all the way back up to seated. Hands to heart center. If you'd like to pause here and do a few more of those, feel absolutely free. The more of those you do with that nice strong breath, the more heat you'll build in your body, so that when we go on to the next part, you will have that heat so that you can move more easily through the poses. All right. I'm going to scoot even a little bit more forward on my chair. So I'm just on the edge of my chair, and I'm going to move into a warrior two. So I'm going to extend my right leg out, and then bend that knee and bring my left leg out behind me. So you'll see that my right toes point straight away from me, and my left toes are pointing straight at the camera. Warrior two, your arms are open like this, but if your shoulders get tired, if your arms get tired, then bring your hands to heart center. The idea is to square your shoulders forward over your hips, and then gaze over that right hand, right through the center of your middle finger of the right hand. We often tend to keep our shoulders raised in warrior two. Yeah, that's an anxiety, a fear response. Drop your shoulders down and bring your shoulder blades together behind you. Excuse me. So stay in your warrior two for a few breaths, a few nice, long, intentional breaths. And again, if your arms get tired, then go ahead and drop your arms. Give yourself a break. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale here. And we'll move into a twist. Bring your left hand across and onto the right knee. You can bring your right hand behind you, even clasp the back of that chair and move into a twist so that you're looking towards, actually over your right shoulder. If that's too much, then back out as much as you need to. Sometimes you might want to hook that elbow and work that a little bit. There's lots of different options. I really, really like this one with my hand on the outside of my right knee. When I do that though, I try to make sure I don't pull that knee in and collapse into the front knee. I want to keep the knee going over the center of the front foot, that right foot. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale. Stay for your exhale. Come back to that warrior two. So you might want to flip your arms around like that. If you're getting a little tired, maybe take a little rest with your legs, and then we'll move into an extended side angle in the chair. So from your warrior two, reach forward through your right hand, bring your elbow to your knee, bring your left hand up and over. So the idea here is to have a nice long line of energy from your left foot up through the left fingertips. Roll your chest open. I sometimes like to actually put my hand on my rib cage and roll it open so that I have some opening. If you can, look up, tuck your chin in towards your shoulder. And make sure you have some space between the bottom shoulder and the bottom ear. Don't dump down into that shoulder. Keep it nice and strong. If you like, if you have the mobility here, you might choose to do a half bind. Bring that top hand behind you. See how I can clasp my thigh there? That might not be available to you. Take what you need. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Come back to your warrior two, and then back to center, hands to heart center. We're going to take a sun salutation to sort of erase what we just did on the first side. Inhale, reach up, forward fold. Halfway lift, nice long flat back. Fold down. And back all the way up, reach up, hands to heart center. And we'll move to the second side for that warrior two. So left toes reach away from you, and that left leg is bent. Take any movement on the chair that you need to. The right leg extends back, so you have a nice strong right leg. All right, so from there, notice how I want to sort of square a little bit towards my front leg. The idea of warrior two is to square over your hips. So square yourself, reach if that's in your practice. if that's available to you. If it's not, then that's fine. Something might be available to you on one side that is not available on the second. There is nothing wrong with that. You're totally human. Congratulations. So again, gaze over the center of the front hand. Drop your shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. And again, if that's not available, take whatever is available. Make the shape that your body's willing to give you, not the shape that not I necessarily look like. Deep breath in, and we'll move into that twist. So bring that right hand over towards the left knee. Do you see how I put my hand on the chair behind me? That helps me twist a little bit more. If that's not available, don't do it, obviously. Remember, keep that knee over the center of the front foot. If you can twist your neck, try not to lift your chin, drop it down so that it's tucked in towards your shoulder. These twists have a wonderful symbolic idea of wringing out all the things that you don't need. And when you're talking about anxiety, being nervous, anxious, fearful, we tend to get really crunchy in our torso. So this twist really lengthens the side body too. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Come back to center, back to that warrior two. Reset if you need to reset. An extended side angle. Reach forward, elbow to knee, top arm comes up and over. Remember again, space between the shoulder and the ear, long line of energy from that foot through the fingertips. If you like, you can roll your rib cage open and look up. But if you look up, tuck your chin in. If a bind is available to you and you like it, go ahead and bind. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more like that. Stay for your exhale. Come back to your warrior two and hands to heart center, feet hip distance. Another sun salutation, or vinyasa as we would say, in order to simply clear out what we did and prepare for the rest. Inhale, reach up, forward fold, halfway lift, fold down, and reach all the way back up. Hands to heart center. All right, we're going to move into an eagle, Garudasana. On the chair, the first thing you want to do is simply place one knee over top of the other. All right, so that's pretty good, right? If you can, bring that knee behind your calf. That might not be available to you. If it's not, then simply flex that foot strongly so that your leg is active. Once you've done that, the same leg that's come over top, that arm comes underneath. So you want to bring it under and either give yourself a hug, or if it's available, you can bind your hands in front of you. So the full expression of a chair eagle looks like this, but your eagle might not look this way. You might have your foot flexed, you might be giving yourself a hug. Totally cool to have any variation that you need for your body. The idea is to lengthen up and squeeze into your center line so these bottom ribs kind of tuck in together and your core muscles are engaged and active. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more breath like this. Let it go. And then unwind, reach up, forward fold with your exhale. Halfway lift, fold down. Reach all the way back up. And prepare for eagle on the second side. So leg over, arm under. And again, remember, you can either flex the foot strongly or bind it behind your calf. If you do, make sure that that's comfortable enough for your knee. If you find that you're in pain at any point, then back out of the pose. We like sensation, we don't like pain. So pain is a signal that you're doing too much. This is the full expression of eagle. I'm sorry, behind my arms, But if yours looks like this, or even different, that's fine. Find your expression of your eagle in your chair. If you can, lift your elbows, push your hands away, and you'll feel a stretch in the upper back. You'll feel your upper back open up. Breath in, breath out. Deep inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then unwind, reach up, forward fold, halfway lift, fold down. Come back up to seated, reach high, hands to heart center. We're going to do a modified chair version of what's called Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. What it is standing hand to big toe pose. So bring your left hand to your waist and your right hand to your knee. Lift that foot up, flex the foot nice and strong. Hold it here so that your foot is floating just for a couple of breaths. Really feel that other foot ground down into the earth. Don't let it float. Don't let it flop. Feel it really press down. Now open that leg out to the side. A fuller form of the pose, you would take your toes and extend your leg out. But in a chair, feel free to simply have your leg bent. Notice how I'm putting my hand and I'm actually pressing my knee open without moving my hips. So I get a nice stretch in the inner thigh here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale. Bring that knee back to center with an exhale. And then we're going to twist. We're going to take the opposite hand to the outside of that knee. Keep the foot floating and bring the right hand, my right hand, behind. So you're going to twist. Keep your hips nice and even. Keep that knee up. We won't be here long. Come back to center. Place that foot back down. If you need to shake something out, shake it out. You know, sometimes the hip, the quadricep can be a little bit catchy after that. So if you need to shake something out, shake it out. And then we'll move to the other side. So bring your hand to your waist, lift that knee, hand to the knee. So this is the beginning pose. Notice that I'm nice and open in my chest. I'm not folded forward. So open up. And then have this leg engaged, flex the foot so that the whole leg is active. So you're not just flopping down, especially this lower part of the leg is nice and active. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Open that knee out to the side. Notice that my hips stay more or less where they are. Ground down through that other foot. If you want the full expression of the pose and it's available to you with your hamstrings, go ahead and do that, but totally optional. Not a lot of people like that option, but I'm just going to show you so that you have that information in your back pocket, so to speak. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Bring that knee back to center, move into your twist, so bring the opposite hand to the outside of the knee and your left hand, my left hand, to the chair. Twist it out. Yeah, that symbolic wringing out of everything you don't need. Breath in, breath out. Come back to center. Place your foot back down. Inhale, reach up. Yep, we're going to erase what we just did. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. And come back up to seated. We're going to do a couple of chair cat-cows now. You might choose to leave your hands on your legs, or if you want, you can feel a little bit more stability if you grab the chair on either side of you. It's up to you. So we're going to move into cow first. So as you inhale, open up your chest, lift your chin, collarbones spread, shoulder blades squeeze together behind you, and then cat as you exhale, round. So this is a heart opener with cow as you inhale. And it's counter pose with cat as you exhale. Cow on every inhale, cat on every exhale. Move through several more cycles. So much of what we do is in front of us that when you move into cow, this feels a little bit unusual. It really counteracts a lot of the things we do, the driving, the computers, the cooking, everything. and then cat as its counter pose. Take one more cycle here, and a cat. Come to a nice tall seat, and we'll move into a hip opener, a pigeon on the chair. So take your ankle and place it on your knee. This might be enough for you. The idea is to feel the outer hip here. You might adjust where that bottom foot is, but make sure it feels grounded. If you like more stretch, if you need more stretch, you can take this hand and press down on that knee. If you need even more, you can reach forward with your chest, so you're bending forward. Try to keep this top foot nice and active though. And don't forget about the bottom foot, nice and active. So if you're in the pose, you'll feel this outer hip. What I like to say is the way the pose looks is immaterial. It's the feeling that you're looking for, the feeling of the pose in your body. If the intention of the pose here is to open up the hip, and if you have that happening, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Your body and my body are going to be completely different. That's fine. In fact, it's totally cool and good for us to be completely different. So don't get hung up on how it looks when you're moving into and through and out of a pose. Just take the pose that your body's willing to give you. I like to say that. It really, really makes sense to me. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more here. Let it go. If you're leaning forward, come back up to seated. Place that foot back down on the floor. Shake out anything. If your hip needs a little bit of wiggle, go ahead and wiggle it out. And then move to the second side. Ankle on your knee. This might be enough for you. Or place your hand on your knee and press down in order, there it is, to feel that outer hip. If you like, you can reach forward with your chest. So it's a forward fold, but you're not rounding down. It's really the center of your chest that's reaching forward here. Flex this top foot. Yeah, I almost forgot about it, didn't I? And then make sure that that bottom foot is nice and grounded. Both sit bones should stay on the chair. So you're not like lifting up on one side in order to get deeply into the pose. It's not about whether you can get a certain look. Again, it's about the feeling. So ground your sit bones into the chair, ground your foot into the mat or the floor, and really feel that outer hip. Don't be afraid to feel what you feel. One of the things I've said recently in my classes is that we'd rather hurt than feel. We'd rather hurt ourselves and say, this is me doing the pose, than feel what we need to feel in the pose. Yeah, I'm guilty of the same thing. We'd rather hurt than feel. So take that and see how that fits you. Would you rather hurt yourself than feel what you need to feel in the pose? Would you rather push so hard into a pose that you hurt yourself than feel the sensation of stretch, especially in hips? A lot comes up emotion-wise when we're in our hip openers. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more inhale. Stay for your exhale. Make your way back up to seated. Place that foot back down on the floor. If you like to shake it out, maybe windshield wiper your knees a little bit back and forth. And then we'll move into a forward fold. So for this one, I like to scoot way to the edge of my chair. You scoot to where you feel comfortable and supported. Then straighten your legs if you can. Come onto your heels and pull your toes back towards you. So what we're going to do is basically a forward fold in the chair. If you feel like you're going to fall over, then back out. We don't want anybody falling out of chairs. We want to just get a nice long stretch in the back, the west side of our body. So from here, inhale, reach up, and then fold forward. See how far you go. The idea, just like in that pigeon variation, is for the chest to reach forward. So it doesn't matter if you can touch your toes or not. Especially here in the chair, if you start to feel unsteady and unstable, back out. We don't want unsteadiness. We want to stay nice and grounded. So if you feel like you're going to fall over, then back out. But otherwise, stay where you are. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Make your way back up. If you need to support yourself, support yourself. Come back to a seat. Scoot back in your chair so you're nice and supported. Feet hip distance again. Hands can be on your legs, palms down or palms up. You can take a mudra. We're going to do a final relaxation. So rather than lie down and do a shavasana, we're going to do it in our chair. Again, nice and comfortable, nice and steady, nice and stable, in a place where you can remain for a few minutes. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And then rather than cultivate that Ujjayi breath again, our breath begins to normalize. And we just relax. If you like, you can pause the video and remain in your Shavasana for as long as you like, just sitting relaxed. If you'd like, whenever you're ready, whenever you feel like your Shavasana is complete, you can restart the video and join me. When you're finished, simply bring your hands to heart center. Take a nice deep intentional breath and let it all the way out. The light in me, the something special in me, sees, honors, and rejoices in this something special, the light in each one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you join me for other videos that I'll post in the next few days.